COVID. So during COVID, you could do in-person or just virtual appointments, but now we just say in-person and virtual. Okay. So then, like I said, courtesy call and go and show is when appointment requests are immediately confirmed and people can go in. Appointment required would mean that either Karen or her clients have to confirm the appointment. So let me just click on that really quick so you can kind of see. Now this column popped up. How is Karen going to confirm the appointments? Usually we do by text message because that's the most immediate way for people. But then I'll just go back and change it to courtesy call and go and show. Notice that column went away and she is just going to be told if there are any appointments. Okay, now if your client was going to confirm the appointments, you would add over here owner and occupant. And I would click that and I would say add new and I'd put my client's first and last name. When you do phone type, you have to select mobile and say yes, use for text message if that's how you want them to be alerted. If you want them to get a text message, you have to say it's a mobile phone and you have to say yes, use this phone for a text. Okay, now I will tell you, don't ever torture your clients. Let me go back to this by saying you want showing voice. What that means is every time someone requests an appointment, it's going to call them. It's like literally the most annoying thing ever because I've accidentally been set up on agents listings that way. Don't torture your clients unless they're older and they're not tech savvy. That's the only reason I would ever do showing voice. But like I said, I would either do text. I would 99.9% of the time we do text message. You can do an email if they want an email of their confirmed appointments so that they can keep track of them. Great. You can select that over here. But mostly everybody just wants text messages. So let me go back and change Karen so I don't mess it up. So like I said, you'd add owner occupant. Now down here, do you need advance notice? Like what if there was renters in there? And so you would say no same day appointments. If by their landlord tenant agreement, you had to give them 24 hours notice, I would say no same day appointments, or I would put lead time and I would select 24, 48, 72 hours. Now, the thing is, when you go to list a client's house, you want to make it very apparent to them. And we send them an email that says, you want to accept as many showings as possible because you never know which one is going to be your buyer and write you an offer. So the more restrictions and rules, the more difficult, and people are just not going to look at your house. If they're like, oh, I'm in town for this weekend and they have 72 hours notice required, well, we're not even going to go look at it. So it's best to prep your clients for go out of town that first weekend so that we can have go and show set up and we can have as many showings as possible around your open house and we can get your house sold, so try to have as few restrictions as possible. Now they might have kids and they might need at least an hour notice. So they might say an hour required, or they might not and say, you know what, just say an hour is suggested. And if we can get out of the house sooner, I'll confirm the appointment. Great. So they might just do suggested. So it's really great to go over that with your clients so that like you show them this, hey, we really don't want to require a lead time. We want people getting in as quickly as possible. You can decline it if you're in the middle of making dinner, and then it will just prompt them to pick a new time, but try to be as flexible as possible. Now down here, maximum appointment length. I say 15 minutes because what it does is I will show you over here. Let me come to Karen's listing. And if I come down here and I click on showing time, it's going to tell me leave. Okay, sure. So what it's going to do is I'm going to say, I want to schedule a single showing and see, I want to be able to have people schedule appointments every 15 minutes to get as many people in that house as possible. If you said every half hour, then that's all I'd be able to select. And so that's why that's why I say every 15 minutes. Who cares if there's more than one person in the house at one time? So let me go back here. Okay. So then that comes down to this one. Minimum appointment length, we don't care if they have a minimum time. If they're only in there 5 minutes, we don't care. Now it says allow scheduling overlaps. During COVID, we said no, always exclusive appointments because we're trying to obey the COVID rules. Now I generally always say yes, please just tell the people ahead of time so that we're polite. If there's still some people who are at risk or don't want to be around others, we let them know that if somebody is going to overlap. Now, do we have a number of people that will limit the overlap? Nope. I don't care if 20 people are in the house at one time. What that's going to do is people are going to be like, holy cow, this house is super popular. So all those types of things just help to build up urgency and make your place look awesome. So this is generally what my team will do is we'll say, no suggested lead time, no required lead time, unless your clients tell us one, a small maximum appointment, no minimum, allow overlap showings. Yep. Allow them. Just tell the showing agent ahead of time, no overlap limit. If your clients they're getting the carpets cleaned or windows are getting cleaned, or they know they're having their child's birthday party, so they don't want showings during that time, then we just schedule those in here. And then as you saw down here, we have a super on it. Here's the door code. Any other instructions we might say down here if our clients are super paranoid about, all the lights being turned off, we might say on there, please turn all lights off. So we might say things like that if our clients had something they're very worried about. I'm going to save these changes for Karen's. Now, you can come over here and you can look at a listing activity report. Over here on the left-hand side, this is going to show you the number of appointments, and you can share this with your clients. So right here, they got some feedback. And the feedback was, and we did make it available for the owners to see, they're not interested. They had a fair experience. They feel like it's priced too high. Rate the listing a 2. And the comment, basement and dingy hallways. Okay, great. Then maybe these is things Karen already told her clients, but they didn't listen to her. And so now she doesn't have to be the bad guy, and they get the feedback from the other agents. Now, what you guys can do is you can come in here and you can see Courtney Nielsen's at our own brokerage. So Karen could call Courtney and say, hey, Courtney, or text her and say, I'd love feedback to share with my client. She could reach out to Rosie. She could reach out to Kevin, or Kevin's the one that shared this. So Rosie, Virginia, Courtney, Candy, and then this is a future showing. You guys can come in here and you can text and call and email these agents and say, what's your feedback? I'd love to have it to share with my clients. Then you can just take a screenshot of the text, or you can type up notes. I usually like to do it by text so that I can send a screenshot so that they don't think I am saying it and they can see it in black and white. So you can come in here and you can look and you can reach out to these agents and request feedback from them. You can download this as a PDF. You can print a report. You can email it. So you can send all of this stuff out to your clients. So what I would say is, Karen, when did you list this? Oh, okay, the 13th. So the general rule of thumb is if in 10 days, so this would be 7, 8, 9, 10, the 23rd would be 10. If she does not have any offers by the 23rd, the general rule of thumb is this listing is 3 to 5% too high. So the general rule of thumb, if you have no showings or a limited amount of showings, and you have 10 showings or it's been 10 days with no offers, you're 3 to 5% too high. Any questions on this or how to use Showingtime?
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, guys. Any other questions?